Creatine is one of the most proven sports supplements on the market today. Creatine is found naturally in foods such as beef, and let me assure you before we move on to how to actually best use creatine, creatine is safe. Like we said, it's one of the most researched supplements in the industry, and it's also found in our food, so don't think that it's something that you shouldn't be taking, something that could cause harm. Before we begin, don't forget to stay until the end of the video because I'm going to tell you the #1 biggest mistake that people make when they take creatine, and this biggest mistake that people make is holding your progress back when it comes to building muscle. The reason that you want to take creatine is to increase strength as shown by the studies, but also to increase muscle mass. This is the #1 reason most people want to take creatine, and it's the reason that you should want to take creatine is because it's going to help you build more muscle quicker. The way that we supplement creatine is by taking it in powder form. The dosage that I personally recommend is 2 to 4 grams for the first 1 to 2 weeks. Once you're comfortable with that 2 to 3 grams, which is a smaller dosage, then after 1 to 2 weeks, up your dosage to 5 grams, and you can take that 5 grams year round. You can take that every single day throughout the whole year. Just very quickly before we continue, if you're getting any value from this video so far, then consider clicking the subscribe button. If you click the little bell as well, that will notify you every time I upload a new YouTube video. You're going to learn how to build muscle, how to lose body fat. That's what I teach on this channel. Now for me, I'm personally taking creatine 6 days per week, and that's because I take Sundays off as a day where I don't think about nutrition. That doesn't mean that you have to do that. You can take creatine 7 days per week all year round. Another creatine little hack that I like to use is I actually come off creatine 4 times per year. So every 3 months, every quarter, I will come off creatine for 1 full week. The reason I do that is it just makes the supplement a little bit more effective when you come back on the creatine again. But once again, you don't have to do that. That's just a little tactic to make the product work better. It can be confusing when it comes to which creatine to buy because there are so many different types. I recommend sticking with creatine monohydrate, and that's because, once again, that's the most researched type of creatine, so that's what I recommend. In terms of what time of day you should be taking your creatine, the most important thing is that you take your creatine consistently. It doesn't really make a difference what type of day you take it, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, it doesn't really make a big difference. Although there are some studies that suggest taking your creatine post-workout with 20 to 40 grams of protein and carbohydrates will allow you to get more out of your creatine. That's personally when I take my creatine because I have it with my protein shake, and that's when I recommend you take yours. But of course it doesn't really make that much difference, and taking it is the most important thing. So very quickly before we get into the bonus tip, just remember that your fundamentals are the most important thing. Not many other people will tell you this in YouTube videos. You have to remember that supplements aren't magic. Getting good consistent sleep, following a nutrition plan, following a training program that's been laid out for you, all of those things need to be in place before you start taking supplements. Supplements will just give you an extra little boost, but you can't use them as your main thing to get results. As I promised at the start of the video, I'm now going to share with you the bonus tip. Now, I don't know how long you guys have been in the industry for. Maybe you've been training a couple of months, maybe you've been training a couple of years. But regardless of where you're at in your journey, what you will have learned or will learn is that there's a lot of people out there to take your money, to scam you and to lie to you. This industry is one of the best industries. I truly love this industry, but it's also the industry with the absolute most bullshit out of any industry in the world. The most lies are in this industry. There is not one other industry out there that has more lies in it than this industry. And that leads me on to telling you to never cycle creatine. People often tell you to cycle creatine, which means you might take 20 grams of creatine a day for a few weeks and then drop down to maybe 5 grams. The reason that is said is because it's a scam that was made up by the supplement industry. It was said that you would get better results if you cycled the creatine. All that gets you to do is buy more product. It's going to make you purchase more of their product, or the person who has an affiliate link to that product, that person is just going to make more money as a result of you buying more of the product. You're just wasting product, you're wasting money. You don't need to cycle creatine. I've already told you the correct dosages and how to do it, so stick with that. Once again, quickly before I go, if you did get any value from that video or felt like you learned something, then please do consider subscribing.